Trump's bold decision, U.S. will not send troops to Ukraine, shifting the burden to Europe. Introduction in a dramatic move that could reshape global geopolitics. Former U.S. President Donald Trump has made it clear that the United States will not deploy troops to Ukraine amid the ongoing conflict with Russia. The decision signals a major shift in America's foreign policy stance, leaving European nations to shoulder greater responsibility for regional security. The move has sparked mixed reactions across the world, raising concerns about NATO's unity, Ukraine's defense strategy, and the broader implications of this strategic recalibration. Trump's announcement and justification during a press conference. At his Mar-a-Lago residence, Trump categorically stated that America will not send a single soldier to Ukraine. He emphasized that the European nations, particularly Germany, France, and the UK, must step up and take charge of their own regional security. Trump's stance aligns with his long-held belief that the U.S. has been disproportionately burdened with global security responsibilities while other allies have not contributed their fair share. Trump pointed to what he called reckless spending on foreign conflicts, citing past U.S. engagements in Afghanistan and Iraq as lessons on the futility of prolonged military interventions. He argued that the ongoing war in Ukraine is primarily a European issue and should be handled by European powers rather than the United States. European response, a divided House. The decision has sent shockwaves through Europe. While some leaders have reluctantly acknowledged the need for increased European military involvement, others have expressed frustration and concern about the U.S. pulling back from a conflict that has global ramifications. Germany and France's reaction. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz and French President Emmanuel Macron have both reacted with caution. Scholz admitted that Europe needs to reassess its security strategy but expressed disappointment in the lack of American involvement. Macron, on the other hand, has called for a more integrated European defense mechanism, reiterating the need for a European army that could operate independently of U.S. military assistance. The UK's stance. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has remained steadfast in his support for Ukraine but has also urged other European nations to take stronger leadership roles in security matters. The UK has pledged to continue supplying military aid and intelligence support to Ukraine but has ruled out sending ground troops unless absolutely necessary. Eastern European concerns. Nations bordering Russia, such as Poland and the Baltic states, have expressed deep concerns about America's retreat from Ukraine. These countries view a strong U.S. military presence in the region as a critical deterrent against further Russian aggression. Polish President Andrzej Duda warned that without U.S. military backing, the war could escalate further, threatening the stability of Europe as a whole. Ukraine's reaction, feeling abandoned? Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has expressed disappointment over Trump's decision, stating that Ukraine needs unwavering support from all democratic nations. He has urged NATO allies to ramp up military assistance, including advanced weaponry, intelligence sharing, and financial support. Zelensky also hinted at increasing collaboration with European nations to build a more self-reliant defense system. However, concerns remain about whether European powers alone can fill the vacuum left by the United States. The Ukrainian military heavily relies on American-made weaponry, and the absence of U.S. forces could limit Ukraine's ability to counter Russian advancements. Russia's reaction, a strategic victory? The Kremlin has welcomed Trump's announcement, interpreting it as a sign of weakening Western unity. Russian President Vladimir Putin has reiterated that NATO expansion and Western intervention in Ukraine are among the primary reasons for Russia's military operations in the region. A Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov stated, "This is a positive development that shows America understands that Ukraine is not their war. It is time for Europe to decide their own future." However, analysts caution that Russia may see this as an opportunity to escalate its military campaign, betting on a fragmented and less coordinated European response. NATO's future, a turning point. Trump's decision has reignited the debate over NATO's role in global security. Some experts argue that this move could weaken NATO's credibility and unity, making it vulnerable to internal divisions. If European countries fail to step up, it could embolden adversaries such as Russia and China, who see NATO as a fading power. On the other hand, some analysts suggest that this moment could serve as a wake-up call for Europe to enhance its defense capabilities. Countries like France and Germany may be forced to increase their defense spending and collaborate more closely on military initiatives. A more self-sufficient European security framework could, in the long run, benefit NATO by reducing its over-reliance on American military power. Implications for the 2024 U.S. presidential race. With the U.S. presidential elections approaching, Trump's decision is likely to become a central campaign issue. His America First policy appeals to a significant portion of the electorate that is weary of foreign entanglements. However, critics argue that abandoning Ukraine could damage America's global reputation and weaken alliances that have been built Over decades. Trump's likely opponent, current President Joe Biden, has consistently advocated for continued U.S. support to Ukraine. This stark contrast in foreign policy approaches could define the upcoming election and influence American voters' perspectives on global leadership. The road ahead, uncertain and complex. Trump's decision to keep U.S. troops out of Ukraine has undoubtedly shifted the geopolitical landscape. While it may relieve America of direct military engagement, it places enormous pressure on European allies and Ukraine itself. The coming months will determine how well Europe adapts to this new reality and whether it can prevent further escalation without direct U.S. military intervention. The world watches with bated breath as this high-stakes geopolitical game unfolds, with Europe now holding the ball in a conflict that could redefine international power dynamics for years to come.